Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. What are we going to be doing today? Well, you know, when I get the ugly mat out, that means there's a craft coming. So today we're going to be making something that you could change up for fall, for Halloween, for harvest, for Christmas, almost for anything. So what is it? Well, I hope you'll stay tuned to find out. I did not have a Saturday video up, as I sometimes don't, because I was traveling. So I got to spend a few days with my son. We did a lot of projects at his new to him home. So I'm a little sore today, y'all. So if you see me wincing or I have to sit down or take a lot of breaks, you see a lot of cuts in the video, that's why. My biggest issue is I'm physically strong, but my back does not like it when I use my strength. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit sore today. Whew. And it's very, very hot. Y'all, I think fall's just trying to tease us, right? So we had a delightful week last week. Highs in the 70s, lows in the upper 40s. And this week, every day it's going to be in the 90s. I'm already sweating, and there is no hope of rain. So I will have to spend some time watering what remains in my garden and making sure that the chickens have fresh, cool water. And I also get a lot of algae growth in their water because I have a 5-gallon automatic feed, gravity feed water, and it will get algae in it, and I don't want them to have to drink algae. But anyway, so what are we going to make today? Well, we are going to make what is technically called a tussie mussy, but there is not going to be any Victorian flair to this or any flowers to this. So typically, a tussie mussy is like a nosegay of flowers or small bunch of flowers. Oftentimes, it was in a paper cone. So we are going to be making a tussie mussy. I'm actually going to make 2 for part of my entryway decor for Halloween. But as I said, depending on your choice of fabric and the little accessories you choose, you can make this suit you and what holidays you celebrate if Halloween just isn't your thing. So what are you going to need? Well, the first thing you're going to need is a foam cone. Now, if y'all remember my Dollar Tree haul, I was lamenting the fact that it didn't have a point. Well, none of them do. I don't use these a lot, so I didn't realize that none of them came to a point, but we're gonna make it come to a point very easily by using fabric. So I've had this fabric for quite some time. This actually came from Walmart. You can buy, I haven't unwrapped this one, the seasonal fabric 1 yard or 2, some of them are 2 yard pre-cuts. They're 100% cotton. And I have one that's a variety of pumpkins and stripes. Now I have a plan for this. I want to make a table runner. The reason we're not doing that video yet, and pardon me, I am having a hot flash, is because my craft room is the hottest room in the house. And it's too warm upstairs without running a fan. And when I run a fan, y'all can't hear me. So let me show you the fabric I did choose to use. It's over here on my ironing board. So these are 1 yard, as I said, pre-cuts. I have this backwards. And these seem to be about 45 inches wide. So 1 yard will more than do both of the craft items I plan to make. For purposes of this video, I'm only going to be showing you one. So you are going to need some fabric to cover your cone with. I just iron this. You're going to need a variety of kinds of glue. I'll go over that as we go along. And then you're going to need some things to decorate or fill up your tussie mussy with. So to start with, I need to reposition the camera. I need to get through this hot flash. Y'all apologize for the sweating. And I'll be back in just a second for you. And we are going to start covering our cone with some fabric and some hot glue and some T-pins. So I hope you'll stay tuned. All right, y'all. To start with, I'm just going to tip the camera down. I'm not going to have you looking over my shoulder. So this fabric has a selvage to it that says David Textiles Inc. So I really don't want to have to fight the selvage. So I'm going to use the cut end that they cut the yardage for. And I am not going to remove the plastic off of the cone. I am going to try to take the tag off. Reason being is this foam is a bit textured, and I think the fabric will lay better if I don't do that. So let me tip you down here. So the other selvage edge, if you see, has little pokes in it, like little pinholes. So I will want to be sure. You can either cut it off, and I think that's what I'm going to do, is just cut it off. Or you can try to make sure it's on the inside. This already has some challenges because the hot glue will just eat right through the plastic and the styrofoam. So what you want to do is you want to carefully roll this up so that your fabric, you're going to leave some at the top, but so that your fabric is all the way around your cone with some overlap, as you see. And I'm just going to cut out the portion I need because I really don't want to waste any fabric. Now, if you're using an obvious directional or diagonal print, you may have to do a little bit more fussing than what I'm doing to make sure that your design is right side up, etc. So you want to have about an inch overlap at the top because we are going to cover the top of the cone as well. Although you really won't see it, it provides a good base for all the decorative things that we're going to add to. So let me set this aside. Now, you have some options here. You could use something like fabric fuse. You could try hot glue, but one of the things that I've found that really makes covering a foam cone easy is using either, I call them T-pins, it may not be the right wording, or there's some that come in a U shape. So here is what a T-pin looks like. And this will help you keep everything nice and smooth. And I'm actually going to put it near the edge here. And then continue rolling. And I may have, maybe gotten a little carried away on the amount of fabric, but it's okay. Now you'll notice it's very crooked here. So what I'm going to do is recut this in a straight line down to a point so that at least our finished product will look neat. One thing to note, you won't see the back of it, but I don't know, I like to, if I'm going to put the effort into doing a craft, I like to make it look as nice as I can. So you can see here's a nice point. We're going to keep going around with that. We will be putting a tassel so it won't exactly matter that it's not a perfect point. Okay. Okay, so I have a little bit too much fabric at the bottom. Let me get this wrapped. All right, y'all. I did use 2 T-pins on the underneath side, and you may notice you can see a little bit of the cone here. I actually got the inspiration from this from a channel called Make It Your Own DIY, and she had the same situation, but it's not going to show when we get finished. So I have a pretty nice point here at the end. So what I'm going to do to make gluing a bit easier is I am going to stick a T-pin or 2 just to hold it since I don't have my third arm. And this is going to be the front of our cone. And again, we'll make this a nice point like this when we go to put the tassel on. So I have a Gorilla Glue dual temp glue gun, and I actually have it on low. We'll see if that works. So that way, because this fabric is, you know, a little bit on the thin side, that way if it seeps through, it's not gonna melt your cone. And somewhere here, y'all, yeah, here we go. Have a little makeup spatula from Dollar Tree. Let me just cut off some of these frayed fabric pieces. And we're just gonna go, this is working great. We're just gonna go down the cone. Now, if you prefer to use a fabric glue, just know that your dry time is going to be, ouch, ouch, ouch. Get the spatula and then don't use it and burn your finger. It's gonna be significantly longer, but it does work. So here you go. How cute is this already? So I'm gonna pull out the T-pins. I did leave the ones in that are underneath just so that I didn't have to play slip and slide with the cone. Now for the top, we don't need this much fabric. I'm gonna cut it down to, oh, I don't know, a little better than 1 inch. And this is the area that you may want to try and use your fabric glue. I'm going to try the low temp glue gun, even though I got the fabric glue out. Because even if it melts a bit of the cone, it's not going to be a huge issue because it's on the top and it's going to be covered by our decor. And y'all, I will share with you, Miss Violet is finally unbroody. When I got home from my trip, she was like, where you been? I've been out playing. And she also seems to be very interested in Miss Winona. So I'm hoping that since poor Miss Marigold was killed by the fox, and that was always Violet's buddy, I'm really hoping that she will take to Winona and that she will have her own friend. So this is not eating through. It does help if you have the lower temp glue gun, for sure. And somewhere I have the little rubber fingers that you can use with the hot glue gun. I couldn't find it, but the spatula works fine. Okay, so here we have it so far. Now, I want to fancy schmancy it up a little bit. So I went into my trim stash and I have some orange pom-pom ball trim. And y'all, I'll link anything that I can link. This is a pretty good amount if I can find the end of it. Yeah. Looks like it's wrapped around. Oh my word, y'all. I hoped I wasn't going to be on the struggle bus today. Well, anyway, you get the gist of it. I'll take care of that off camera. And then I did purchase this from Walmart. This is just some black lace trim. And I thought it would be appropriate to use for a lot of different crafts. And it's got that spooky, ooky look. So I'm going to put this down first and just glue it around. And then let me get this untangled. So I will glue this first. And since this orange isn't like 100% of a match, I'll put it on top of the black. Once I get that all together, I'll bring you back, and then we'll be ready to start something that's a little bit more fun, and that is embellishing the top and creating a hanger for our Tussie Mussy. All right, y'all. I know the top of my head's cut off. How cute is this? I also took a T-pin, if you see right here, and took a length of black ribbon and put it on the back. Now you could do it side to side, but because of the design that I have for the top, I don't want it side to side. It will interfere with, wait for it, this adorable witch's hat. Now, this is actually a headband, and you can find these all sorts of places, y'all. I have seen them at dollar stores, we'll say. I have seen them at Walmart. It's usually in the jewelry section. I will tell you, I ordered these in a pack of 3 from Amazon. Anything I can link, I will link below. So underneath, it just has a little piece of felt that the headband slides through. So what I'm gonna do, hopefully without tearing the hat to bits, is just pull that off. It is well glued, just so I can get the headband out. Y'all, you ever have days you're just on the struggle bus no matter what you do? I think that might be my day today. I did go out and check on the girls, you know, did their feed and water, etc. And they are happy to have a Miss Violet back in the fold. Now, Fancy Ray will peck Miss Violet when she first comes out, because she's like, where you been? I don't think I know you. But I'll be Fancy Ray. Okay. I just got to get bossy with it. Just rip it off. Don't try to be gentle, because what I plan to do, so this has a little feather and a little rose. So this one's a little more ornate, but I am just going to put it kind of to the side because we're going to add other things to our Tussie Mussy. So we do have fabric here, so let's just load the center up real good with some hot glue. And stick it down. Now, let's say you are not a Halloween person, you don't want to do Halloween decor. What could you do instead? So here's where we are, right? You could have just a fall colored fabric. Instead of this, you could use a little scarecrow, pumpkin. There are so many options. I am a fan of Halloween. I've shared that many times on my channel. I don't worship anything like witches or whatsoever, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but if you do, then you have to do what works best for you. So we'll let this, it's kind of got a weird fold to it. I wonder if we can glue it a little bit differently. So now the fun begins. Now we can start adding all sorts of little things to our Tussie Mussy. So one of the things that's a definite yes for me, I have a little leftover spider that I think will look lovely on our Tussie Mussy, on our witch's hat. It might do better if I put it down low, like yay. And y'all, these did come from Dollar Tree, but if you've ever seen my craft stash, you'll kind of understand I don't really have a clear idea. And keep in mind where the back is so that you're not putting all the pretty on the back that won't show. So that kind of ties the orange in with the solid black hat. It's a lot prettier in person. I don't know if it's showing up. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to find some picks to stick in this, and maybe a pumpkin that I can glue on. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to raise the brim of the hat up so you can see our pretty trim. So let me gather a few more supplies. I'll be right back. All right, so one of the things that I definitely want to incorporate are these cupcake picks. And again, guys, I will link them. I think these came from Amazon, but I'm not for sure. They are one-sided, but they're super cute, real nice and glittery. And I think our witch's hat is thin enough that I can poke it through. Yep, no problem. So we have a little witch. It actually says Happy Halloween. And let's maybe put one on the other side. You can angle these in. So there's a little cauldron with some smoke coming out. And to kind of finish this up, y'all don't disregard Dollar General. I do have a Dollar General in the little tiny town that I live in, Village. And they had these really cute $1, so a quarter cheaper than Dollar Tree, plastic pumpkins, and I thought they looked very vintage, and I think this whole project looks rather vintage. They are just plastic, but you know, they make great scatter for any kind of display you're doing around the holidays. So let's see where we can put you. Yeah, we'll put you right here. And y'all, look at this, how adorable. And you can fit a wooey. Now, I just broke the cupcake topper off, but thank you, Jesus, for hot glue, in all seriousness. So let's put that back on. There we go. No harm, no foul. How cute is this? These make great hangers on doors. There's so many uses for them. I actually have what's called a quilt cupboard. It has a rod that a quilt or a throw can go through, and I plan to hang one of these on each end of my quilt cupboard. Now, we still haven't solved the point issue. So what I would like to do is actually make a little tassel. So I had purchased a whole bunch, y'all, of different small ribbons. You could use different sizes, different colors. And what I'm going to do is cut pieces that are about, I'll tell you how long, 8 inches long. And I'm gonna group them together. We'll tie them off. We'll put them on the point so that'll pull it all down to a point, and I'll bring you back to show you what it actually looks like when we get it completely finished. All right, y'all, here is our very cute finished product. I ended up duplicating the trim that's up top here, down low, and just tying on some variegated ribbons. And I think this is going to be a sweet addition to my Halloween decor this year. So I hope you've enjoyed today's simple and very gluey, I'll be picking glue off my hands all day, craft video. I'm going to make my second one after I have some breakfast. Note to self, eat before you start doing the video. But I hope this gives you some ideas, even if you're not a fan of Halloween, of how you could match up your decor or use it for Christmas, as I said, or harvest or fall in general. I plan to see you all a little bit later this week. And if you could do me a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button and drop me a comment below. If you are going with a fall theme, what would you use as your little tchotchkes or accoutrement up on top of your Tussie Mussie? I will see you again, I think on Thursday, but until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.